back to my channel. My name is Peyton Hawes if you're new here. I mean, my name is Peyton Hawes even if you're not new here, but in case you wanted to know, that's my name. Today, I'm going to be reviewing episode 4 of the new Hulu docuseries, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And the reason why I think I'm a good person to talk about this is because I am an ex-Mormon, Utah living mom and wife. I married my husband when I was 18 years old, 4.5 weeks after I met him, and we were married. I was engaged 4.5 weeks after I met him, and then married 4.5 weeks after that. So very typical, fast Mormon wedding. I look back and think that that is absolutely absurd and insane. But I think I lucked out because my husband is amazing and dreamy and kind and compassionate and empathetic and smart and hardworking and determined and ambitious and all of the things that I ever wanted in a man and more. And I am so in love with him, obsessed. We're coming up on our 7-year anniversary. We have 2 kids together, super, super cute. I used to do like family vlog type stuff on here with my kids. And then I realized how horrible that is, and now I don't show them on the internet, so here we are. Anyway, episode starts out with Macy's birthday weekend at the penthouse. Oh yeah, if you didn't watch it, episodes 1 through 3, go watch those first and then come back to this video, and don't forget to subscribe, please. All the girls are in the penthouse. Demi and her hubby were kind of like fighting for a little bit because of everybody kind of poking fun of the Fruity Pebbles moment, and I won't get into that. You should watch episode 3 if you want to know more about that, but it was weird and crazy and I need more information. But I also understand that it was a very private, intimate thing with them, and so they were kind of dealing with that. Whitney brought everybody matching sweat sets. Very cute. They're all black. They had their name on it. They filmed TikToks together in it. It was super cute. I love matching people, so I thought it was adorable. Everybody got in the jacuzzi in the snow. It was literally snowing and they're all in the jacuzzi, and I was like, somehow that seems like that would be very fun and relaxing to be in a jacuzzi while it's actively snowing. Like, are you cold or is the jacuzzi keeping you like nice and comfy? I want to know, but it looked hella cool. Let's see. Apparently Jen's husband struggles a little bit with the fact that she is the breadwinner and he feels a little bit insecure about it. That's very common in the Mormon church. The man is supposed to provide over the household, be the one who makes the majority of the money, if not all of it, and to feed and clothe the whole family in regards to, you know, just being able to financially and housing the family and all of that jazz. But all of these girls are the breadwinners. They're influencers. You make insane money as an influencer, usually the big ones anyway. And so they make most of the money. And her husband wants to be a surgeon, I believe, just like his dad. And I wonder if it was a neurosurgeon too, because I think Zach's dad is a neurosurgeon. So I think Zach wanted to be a neurosurgeon too. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments. But yeah, also tell me in the comments if you're the breadwinner in your household, you know, if you're married or partnered up, or, you know, whatever. Are you the breadwinner or is your partner the breadwinner? And do you or your partner have a problem with that circumstance? I'm curious because personally in our family, it kind of goes back and forth. My husband's financial situation is pretty consistent and my money is not really predictable. I do a lot of like odd jobs. I'm a nanny and it just really depends on like the hours that I get different places and whatnot. So my money's less predictable. But sometimes I make more in a month than he does, and sometimes I don't, and he makes more. It kind of goes back and forth, but neither of us care because we just see all of it as our money, and we feel like we equally put work in to help provide for the family, and we just do what we enjoy and what feels good to us, and we don't care. Jen forgot her garments on this trip, and she talks about why they're important for her, and they're just like a level of protection. It's a shield. I used to be scared that if I wasn't wearing my garments and I was like in a car that I would die if there was a car accident because I didn't have like my protection. Lots of people have like stories like that about their garments protecting them and whatnot. And I don't know, I think it's a bunch of hoo-ha jazzy waz. Anyway, but she forgot them, so she didn't have like any underwear on the trip. But I thought that was like kind of funny. Everybody was like, oh, Jen is like the most devout Molly Mormon in the group and she forgot her garments and yada yada. I thought it was super cute when they switched to having dinner. There was a private chef that came in and made a bunch of food for them, and everybody went around the table saying things that they love about Macy. Since she's the birthday girl, this is a birthday trip, and I thought it was really cute. Everybody going around and just talking about that. After dinner, they play this game that Demi came up with where everybody writes down questions for specific people in the group, and they're anonymous, so you don't know who wrote down the questions. And then when they pull out the card, like they ask the questions to the girls in the group, and you don't know who wrote it down and asked. And the first question was for Layla, and they say, Layla, if you could sleep with any of your friends' husbands, who would it be? And she puts her hand on Demi, implying that it's her husband. I think his name is Brett. So everyone's kind of like laughing and giggling. Then the next question's for Jen, and they say, which girl in this room would you go lesbian for? And she says Taylor, which I was like really surprised by that, honestly, because I feel like Jen is the one in the group that is like the most Molly Mormon, and I would say Taylor is probably the least, at least so far from what I've seen. There's a couple stories we haven't fully gotten into. I feel like we haven't fully gotten into Layla's story or Whitney's story, and even Jesse's story. I feel like there's more that we could hear from her, so tough to say. But right now it feels like Taylor is like the least, and I feel like that bothers Jen. So I was surprised that she said that she would go lesbian for Taylor. Not that she would, but if she had to. Then there was a question where they said, Whitney, why don't you like Taylor? Are you just jealous of her clout? And I was like, damn. And so supposedly she's not jealous about the clout. That according to her, she says she's jealous about the forgiveness Taylor got for the whole swinger scandal and how Whitney didn't get the same forgiveness for her RSV video. So there was a whole scandal with Whitney dancing with her son who's in the ICU, I think, and because he had RSV, and she did a dance for TikTok and then just had like words on the screen saying that, you know, he was getting better and stuff, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you are trying to get views and sympathy for your sick son and you're sitting there like dancing and using him for views. And so she feels like she didn't really get a lot of forgiveness from people with that, and that she's just like trashed and told all these horrible things every day, and like people didn't really care about Taylor's scandal, or she was like forgiven really quickly. And then Taylor's in like a side interview and she's like, Whitney does not even realize the amount of hate and threats that I get on a daily basis because of the swinger scandal. And she's like, she just doesn't know. And honestly, I believe that. I think we just like, we know what's going on in our own lives, and we don't fully understand the whole picture of what's going on in other people's lives. I can't tell you how many people I know personally who really don't know that much about me, because all the conversations are surface level and it's not, we don't really get deep with anybody. I really only do that with Colin, my husband. So you really don't know what's going on in other people's lives and what their experience is. And I think we can't play the compare game. You can't do that. I know it's easier said than done, but anyway, those are my opinions on it. But yeah, Taylor thinks that she gets way more hate than Whitney. And then Jessie has a side interview and like says that she thinks Whitney is lying to everybody because apparently Whitney always talks about being jealous of Taylor behind closed doors. And then Demi got a question that said, did you ever say that Jen is too Mormon? And Demi said, yeah, she did say that. She admitted it. And then Jen said that now Jen like felt upset and said that Demi called Taylor white trash. And Taylor was like, you know, why would you do that? And she's like, well, you flashed your bra to Dakota, and that's her boyfriend and baby daddy, and it supposedly made him uncomfortable. She's like, I can't believe you did that. And it was just like a bunch of drama about that. And Demi eventually, like later on in the episode, apologized to Taylor for the white trash comment, and she promises that it was like an isolated moment of weakness and she was embarrassed that she said it at all. I really admire Demi. I think she's extremely mature and wise, and I think she's good at what to say and what the right thing to do is. Whitney is asked who's your least favorite person in the group, and she said that it's Demi right now. I don't even like fully understand why, honestly, because I don't know. Okay, so yeah, Taylor pulls Whitney to the side and just like wants to clear the air between them and see what's going on. And Whitney opens up and says that she feels like she worked really hard to be a friend towards Taylor, and she felt like Taylor never reciprocated that. So like anytime there were things going on with Taylor that were difficult in her life, Whitney felt like she was there for Taylor. And anytime things were going on in Whitney's life, she didn't feel like Taylor was there for her. And she basically got worn out and didn't want to, what's the word? Just put in the effort anymore. It got too hard. And so that's how she explained it. And then Demi kind of like came up and brought herself into the conversation, and she said that she thinks Whitney is jealous of Taylor's attention. She doesn't think it's the forgiveness thing that she was talking about earlier. She's like, I think you're jealous of the amount of attention that Taylor gets and you want that same attention. And Whitney feels like really threatened by that. She said, oh, and then Demi said in a little side interview that her and Whitney went to go get ketamine, like, I don't know, it was like 6 to 8 months prior. I can't remember exactly. And they were like afterwards, like, I guess it makes you feel very like truthful and loose, and like you can kind of just like get things off your chest and say things really easily and just be very honest and open. And she said that Whitney admitted that the RSV video was for likes and clout. And so Demi just like feels like she doesn't believe Whitney at all. Then Whitney gets really sad and she walks away like in the middle of the conversation, doesn't want to be involved anymore. I think it's just because she like wants to cry and doesn't want to cry in front of people or on the camera or something like that. So everyone starts confronting everyone, like the whole group is together and they have like a million different issues with Whitney, and she's just getting thrown under the bus, and everyone is like talking about everyone behind their backs, and like Whitney just feels really attacked. And there are people like Jen and Macy are really trying to be there for Whitney and trying to protect her and defend her. And then like a lot of people are like, no, Whitney, like you talk about everybody behind their backs and you'll say all of this stuff to everybody except the actual person you have a problem with and all of this stuff. And so she was feeling really embarrassed. And then Whitney said that she feels like she's just not friends with any of the girls anymore, and that none of them have ever truly been her friends. And I just want to remind everybody that this is like has become the Whitney, Taylor, Demi. I keep saying Demi, but everybody calls her Demi. Like a little pronounced a little bit different, but anyway. Just a reminder that this is supposed to be about Macy's birthday. They're all in a penthouse for Macy's birthday weekend, and there's been drama the entire time, and people are not healing and connecting in the way that Macy had hoped. And it felt like the whole episode was about this drama. Most of it had nothing to do with the church. There was a little bit with the alcohol. Oh no, because even that was in the last episode. There was like barely anything Mormon related in this episode. It was just drama with people in mom talk. Maybe that she forgot garments. Like it barely had anything to do with Mormonism. This episode was all drama. Mind you, this docuseries so far is reminding me of the Kardashians, or Keeping Up with the Kardashians, both of them. It's very well produced, and you know, I'm kind of living for just like all the drama. I don't know why. I just like to hear about other people's drama. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes I like don't want to know, and I just want to like have peace, but also, I don't know. I'm just realizing that I like reality TV. But I also feel like I would be friends with some of these girls, and I live in Utah, but I live in St. George. So they're very far from me. I used to live up north and I have a lot of family up north and I visit all the time, but I feel like I'd be friends with Macy pretty well and Demi. I feel like they're the ones that I would get along with the most so far. But yeah, that wraps up episode 4. Tonight, I'm gonna watch episodes 5 and 6 and see if I have time tomorrow to film episodes for those. Make sure you watch all of them. If you like this video, if you like learning about Mormonism or faith, or you just like listening to me chatter, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.